Good evening, and welcome to another installment of Stories from the Internet, where I bring you the creepiest real-life stories from all over. For a continual supply of creepiness, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you never miss a future episode. Sit back, hit the lights, and let's begin. Before we begin, I have a small announcement to make. Thanks to all of you good people, we've recently hit 500 subscribers, and in celebration of this achievement, on Saturday the 12th of October, I'll be hosting a livestream event. Stick around until the end of the video for the full details. Now, let's get into those spooky stories, shall we? I was fast asleep in my room at the age of 16. Thanks to the sleep mode on my television. Back then, before falling asleep, I always started out the night watching TV. I'd set the TV for sleep mode every night. I needed to ensure it became dark after I was sleeping. I hated the dark. I feared it. I mainly feared the dreadful sense of someone staring when the lights were out. It began after we moved to our new house when I was 12. I have had other paranormal experiences before and after that night, but I have always been able to shrug those off as explainable. Not this one. As I lie in that eerie room, I began to dream. I was no longer in my room, but downstairs in my mother's bathroom. I frantically looked around, wondering why I was there. My eye caught a glimpse of something in the corner. As I slowly turned, my fear of the dark engulfed me. There, the darkness stood, with a slight silhouette of a man, but lacking any contouring features. I stood silently. A great sense of fear hit me, and then the lights blew out. My heart dropped. I spun around and sprinted towards my mother's bedroom, where light gleamed with safety. When I entered her bedroom, the light gave me a sense of hope and fortitude. I turned and faced the bathroom. I could tell the darkness was still there and moving towards the door. I froze and watched in dread as it made its path toward me. The darkness was following me. I tried to yell, but nothing. It hit the doorway between the rooms and blew out the lights in the bedroom. The darkness hit me and my heart stopped again. I darted for the next room. I went from room to room throughout the house. I entered each room feeling relieved, feeling alive. Each room also came with the angst of the darkness following. I waited, room after room, for the darkness. Each time, as it entered the room, it sucked the light out, and I ran towards the light in the next room. After the fifth room, with nowhere left to go, I entered my bedroom, its home. I turned and waited for it to enter. As it had done previously, it slowly edged its way to my bedroom. I could feel the light begin to be sucked from the air. As the darkness reached the doorway, I felt great hopelessness. It had me cornered. Before it entered the room, the lights blew out and fear filled my body. I stood still. It moved closer and closer. I could feel my life begin to fade as it reached out for me. My soul felt darker and darker. Every inch it was closer to me. Before I felt complete darkness, I awoke, laying in my bed and drenched in sweat. Fear began to sink in. I could feel the darkness staring from the corner. I frantically sat up and searched for the light string on my ceiling fan. I found it. As I pulled it, I prayed the lights would go on. The lights flicked on, but 2 of the 3 bulbs blew. I sat in a dimly lit room in complete fear. I could no longer feel the darkness at that point, but I couldn't comprehend what had happened. I sat in bed for the next 30 minutes trying to figure out what to do. I began to brush it off as coincidence and turned on the TV. The rest of the night I kept the TV on and tried to get some sleep. I slept in that room until I was 19 and moved out. I had times where I felt the darkness was still there, but I ensured my room was never completely dark from then on. My mother still lives in that house to this day, and when I go there, I never enter my old room. P.S. I now sleep in a completely dark room at my house and have no fear of the dark. Thought I'd share my paranormal story that I can't wrap my head around. What are the odds the lights would blow out when I woke up? This is not the first time I've heard of someone being chased by a dark figure in a dream. Was it really a dream? What do these dark creatures want? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Ghosts have been attracted to me since I was around the age of 12. But this was the first time I ever saw one. I always heard things, I've gotten feelings, and or saw shadows, but this experience was the most paranormal. So a couple of years ago, I used to live right down the road from a Confederate cemetery. I moved in with my best friend, who didn't believe in ghosts till me. We moved into this 2-bedroom townhouse. Right when you walk in, there's a set of stairs that you go up to the 2 bedrooms and the full bath. But if instead you go to the right of the stairs, is the living room, a bathroom on the left, and then the kitchen. Well, when we moved in, I told her that we had a ghost, and for whatever reason, his name was Charlie. Like, it was stuck in my mind that this ghost was Charlie. We got used to living there, and I think he was getting used to us. So small things would happen, like the dryer turning on, or a small plant falling off the fridge. I would always tell him to stop, and he would. These weird things would all mostly take place when the sun was out, except for this particular event. I worked a shift that day from 10 AM to 10 PM. I was tired, and when I got home, I showered, then I went to sleep. I was off the next day, and all I could think about was sleep. When I fell asleep around midnight, I woke up out of my sleep, out of nowhere, around 3:45 AM. I remember I looked over and there was a Confederate soldier in full uniform. My first thought was, this is Charlie, but he was staring at me. I was shook. I quickly ran for my light switch, but Charlie's eyes didn't follow me. When I turned on the light, he was gone. The weird thing was that my heart wasn't racing. I was really scared of him, but more like surprised. So I went to the bathroom, then went back to sleep. The next morning I wake. I think, what a crazy dream to have. But as I turned over, my bedroom light was still on. Still freaked. I have so many Charlie events that happened. I was just wondering, do other people experience this too? I'm going back to the townhouse to visit my BFF tonight. She said all activity has stopped since I moved out. But I keep wondering, will something happen tonight? Every place I live is haunted. Or is it me? Having such a strong connection to the paranormal wouldn't be an easy thing to live with. Hopefully it is the locations that are haunted, and not our poster. I hope you enjoy this quick little video of 2 creepy tales. As I mentioned, I will be hosting a live stream on Saturday the 12th at 11 AM Australian Eastern Daylight Time, which should make it Friday night for most of my viewers. It will be live on YouTube, and if you want to join in and are over 18, you can join me over at my official Discord server, which is linked below. I hope to see you there. Thank you all for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below, and don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed this video. You can follow me on most social media and chat with me over at the Opinionated Outcast Discord server. If you really like what I do, consider supporting me on Patreon for as little as $2 a month, where there are rewards, sneak peeks, and other Patreon-only exclusives. All links are in the description below. Thank you, and remember, it's always scarier when it's real. Good night.